Few figures in human history have shaped the destiny of a civilization as profoundly as Julius Caesar. His name echoes through centuries, woven into the identity of emperors, nations, and even the very word Caesar, which became synonymous with supreme power. But behind the myth is the story of a man whose ambition, brilliance, and boldness changed Rome forever. This is the story of how Julius Caesar transformed a dying republic into a global empire that would stand for more than 1,000 years. And why, centuries later, his influence still shapes politics, leadership, warfare, and power. A republic in chaos. When Caesar was born in 100 BCE, Rome wasn't a stable superpower. It was a republic tearing at the seams. Political corruption was rampant. The Senate was controlled by elite aristocrats who feared losing their grip on power. Populist leaders fought for reforms. Generals raised private armies loyal not to Rome, but to themselves. Different factions battled in the streets. Laws were ignored. Assassinations were common. Rome, once a small but stable city, now ruled millions. And its old political system was collapsing under the weight of its own success. Into this world stepped Julius Caesar, a young noble with no money, no army, and no influence. What he did have was ambition, like a flame that never went out. Caesar, the rising star. Caesar understood the game of Roman politics better than anyone. He wasn't born into wealth, but he mastered the tools that could elevate him. Charm, oratory, alliances, public appeal. He rose quickly through the political ranks. A brilliant lawyer with a silver tongue, a populist tribune who advocated for the poor, a military commander who won loyalty through generosity, a strategist who outmaneuvered all his rivals, but his greatest leap came through one partnership, the first triumvirate. The triumvirate, power shared, temporarily. Around 60 BCE, Caesar forged a secret alliance with two giants. Pompey Magnus, Rome's most legendary general Crassus, the richest man in the Republic together, they controlled elections, legislation, and military commands. It was the greatest power block Rome had ever seen, and Caesar used it masterfully. With their backing, Caesar became consul and pushed through reforms that helped the poor, challenged aristocrats, and made him a hero to the common people. But Caesar's true ambition was yet to come. Conquest of Gaul, the making of a legend. One of the most important events in world history began with Caesar taking command of a distant province, Gaul. Rome saw Gaul as a backwater full of tribes and danger. Caesar saw opportunity. Over the next 8 years, he led a series of campaigns so astonishing that they are still studied today. He conquered massive territories, defeated fierce tribes, and proved himself one of the greatest generals in history. Over 1 million Gauls were subdued. Hundreds of towns were taken. Legions became fiercely loyal to him alone. And he documented all of it in his famous work, The Gallic Wars, shaping his own image for Rome. By the end of the campaign, Caesar was more powerful than the Senate had ever intended, and far more dangerous. Rome divides. Caesar versus the Senate. The Senate feared Caesar's rising influence. Pompey, once his ally, now became his rival. The Senate ordered Caesar to disband his legions and return to Rome as a private citizen, where he would face charges and political destruction. But Caesar would not walk into a trap. Instead, on a cold winter night in 49 BCE, he crossed the Rubicon River with his army, a forbidden act, a declaration of war. He uttered words that would echo across millennia. Alea iacta est. The die is cast. The Roman Civil War had begun. The Civil War that changed everything. Caesar moved quickly and decisively. He seized Italy without bloodshed. He defeated Pompey's forces across Europe. He won the crucial Battle of Pharsalus. Pompey fled to Egypt, where he was assassinated. With Pompey gone, Caesar pardoned many of his enemies and sought reconciliation, not revenge. This mercy became one of his most remarkable qualities. but it also made his enemies underestimate him. By 45 BCE, Caesar had won the civil war and returned to Rome as the most powerful man in the world. Dictatorship redefined. Caesar was appointed dictator perpetuo, dictator for life. But unlike tyrants before him, Caesar did not rule only through fear or force. He initiated sweeping reforms that shaped the Roman Empire. 1. Economic reforms. Eliminated, crushing debt for citizens, rebuilt infrastructure, standardized currency. 2. Political reforms. Expanded the Senate to include provinces, reduced corruption, strengthened central authority. 3. Social reforms granted citizenship to more people, improved grain supply, supported veterans and families. Rome began to stabilize under his leadership, but his reforms came at a price. Elites feared he was ending the Republic forever. The Ides of March. On March 15, 44 BCE, dozens of senators formed a conspiracy. They feared Caesar was becoming a king. They feared his popularity. They feared his power. In the theater of Pompey, they surrounded him. As knives flashed, Caesar fell beneath a rain of blows. According to legend, he looked into the face of a friend, Brutus, and whispered, "Et tu, Brute?" You too, Brutus. Rome erupted into chaos. But instead of restoring the Republic, Caesar's death triggered a second civil war. The Republic was dead. Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, later Augustus, became the first emperor. The Roman Empire was born. Why Caesar still matters. Julius Caesar didn't just change Rome, he changed the world. 1. His leadership style is still studied. Caesar combined charisma, strategic genius, and political tact in a unique blend. Leading from the front, rewarding loyalty, communicating with simple, powerful language, making bold decisions quickly. Modern generals, CEOs, and political leaders still study his campaigns for guidance. 2. He rewrote the rules of power. Caesar challenged a corrupt system that no longer worked. He understood something timeless. Old systems cannot rule new worlds. As Rome expanded, the Republic became outdated. Caesar pushed it into an era of centralized authority, something that would define global empires for centuries. 3. His legacy shaped the Western world. His influence can be seen in the title Caesar, transformed into Kaiser and Tsar. The Julian calendar, basis of our modern calendar Western concepts of law, governance, citizenship, and leadership, Rome might have collapsed without his reforms. Instead, it became history's greatest empire. 4. The eternal question. Hero or tyrant? Was Caesar a visionary who saved Rome from chaos, or a dictator who destroyed democracy? That debate keeps his story alive. But one thing is certain. Julius Caesar changed the fate of Rome and the world. The man who became immortal. More than 2,000 years after his death, Caesar's name still commands awe. His life is a reminder that individuals, through courage, intelligence, and sheer will, can shift the course of history. Rome shaped the world, but Caesar shaped Rome. And that is why Julius Caesar still stands as one of the most extraordinary figures humanity has ever known. If you found this story fascinating, like, share, and subscribe to Timeless Questions channel, where we explore the civilizations, ideas, and mysteries that shaped humanity.